up to the top. No sign of any boat yet. It's very early still.
Oh, I know. Still, the fellow brings up milk and the bread and all that. Should have thought he'd got him before this. No sign of breakfast. Where's that fellow Rogers?
Don't let's bother about breakfast.
How's the weather looking?
Rather mackerel sky. Old man on the train yesterday said we're due in for nasty weather.
When's that boat coming? The sooner we get out of here, the better. It's absurd not keeping a boat on the island.
There's no proper harbor. The wind comes from the southeast. A boat would get dashed to pieces against the rocks.
Oh, I think the pleasures of living on an island are rather overrated.
When's that boat coming? It's annoying the way the mansion's built up against the cliff. You can't see anything until you've climbed up to the top. Should we go up there again?
It's no good, Doctor. A watch pot never boils. There wasn't a sign of a boat putting out. We're just up there now.
Well, where's Rogers? He ought to be about.
If you ask me, Master Rogers was pretty badly rattled last night.
Yes, ghastly, the whole thing.
I said, suppose he's hopped it.
Who, Rogers? But there's no way he could have. There's no boat on the island. You just said so.
Yes, but I've been thinking. We've only Rogers' word for that. Suppose there is one and he's nipped off in the first thing.
Oh no, he won't be able to leave the island.
Sleep well, General?
I dream. Yes, I dream.
I don't wonder at that.
I dreamed of Leslie, my husband, you know.
Oh, I wish Narracott would come.
Who's Narracott?
The bloke who brought us over yesterday afternoon.
Was it only yesterday?
Yes, they like that too. Batty gramophone records, suicides. It's about all man can stand. I shan't be worried to see the back of a soldier on. I give you my word.
So you don't understand. How strange.
What's that, General?
I don't like the look of her.
I reckon young Marston's suicide must have been a pretty bad shock to her.
Yes. Where is that young fellow now?
In the study. Put him there myself.
Doctor, I suppose it was suicide, wasn't it? What else could it be? I don't know, but suicide?
You know, I had a pretty funny feeling tonight. This Mr. Unknown. Suppose he's on the island.
But is there any way he could have tampered with Marston's drink without our seeing him?
Well, it was just sitting up there. Anyone could have slipped a doll of a cyanide in it if they wanted to.
But that doesn't make any sense.
Oh, there you are, Doctor. I've been all over the place looking for you. Could you come up and have a look at my wife, ma'am?
Yes, is she still feeling under the weather?
She's...
You won't leave the island without me. I wish that boat would come. I hate this place.
Yes, I think the sooner we get in touch with the police, the better.
The police?
The police have to be notified in case of suicide, you know, Miss Hawthorne?
Yes, of course.
What is going on here? There's no sign of any breakfast. You hungry, General? Feeling like breakfast?
Leslie, my dear?
No, I'm William Lord.
Of course, forgive me. I took you from my husband.
Oh.
I was waiting for him, you see.
Well, I thought your husband died long ago.
Yes, I thought so too. But he's here, on this island.
Good morning.
Good morning, Captain Lombard.
Seem to have overslept.
Is the boat here yet? No.
It's a bit late, isn't it?
Yes.
Good morning. You and I could have had a swim before breakfast. Too bad all this.
Too bad you overslept.
You must have good nerves to sleep like that.
Nothing makes me lose my sleep.
Didn't dream of African natives by any chance, did you?
No, did you dream of convicts of Dartmoor?
Look here, I don't think that's very funny, Captain Lombard.
Well, you started it, you know. I'm hungry. What about breakfast?
The whole domestic staff seems to have gone on strike.
Oh, well, we can always forage for ourselves.
Hello. That's strange.
What?
Remember we found these little fellows smashed last night?
Yes, that ought to leave 9.
That ought to leave 9. I'm sure there were 10 when we arrived.
Well,
There are only 8.
so there are.
I think it's strange, don't you?
Probably we're only 9 to begin with. We assume there were 10 because of the rhyme. Hello, Armstrong. What's the matter?
Mrs. Rogers is dead.
What? How?
She died in her sleep. Rogers thought she was still under the influence of those sleeping pills I gave her and came down without disturbing her. He lit the kitchen stove and did this room, and as she hadn't appeared, he went upstairs and was disturbed by the look of her and came hunting for me. She's been dead about 5 hours, I should say.
What was it, Hart?
Impossible to say. It may have been.
After all, she had a pretty bad shock last night.
Yes.
She might have been poisoned, I suppose, Doctor.
It is possible.
With the same stuff as young Marston.
No, not cyanide. It would have had to have been some hypnotic or narcotic, something like that.
You gave her some sleeping pills last night, didn't you?
Yes, I gave her a mild dose of luminol.
Didn't give her too much, did you?
Of course not! What do you mean?
All right, no offense. No offense. I just thought perhaps if she had a weak heart.
The amount I gave her could not have hurt anyone.
Then what exactly did happen?
It's impossible to say without an autopsy.
If, for instance, this death had occurred in the case of one of your private patients, what would have been your procedure?
Without any previous knowledge of the woman's state of health, I certainly could not provide a certificate. She was a very nervous-looking creature. Perhaps it was heart failure. Well, her heart certainly failed to beat, but the question is, what caused it to fail?
Conscience?
What do you mean by that, Miss Brent?
You all heard last night. She was accused together with her husband of having killed a former employer, an old lady.
And you believe that's true, Miss Brent?
Certainly, you all saw her last night. She broke down completely and fainted. The shock of her wickedness being brought home to her was too much for her. She literally died of fear.
It is a possible theory. One cannot adopt it without more exact knowledge of the woman's state of health. Had there been a latent cardiac weakness or...
Call it, if you will, an act of God.
Oh, no. Miss Brent.
You regard it as impossible that a sinner could be brought down by the wrath of God? I do not.
My dear lady, in my experience of ill doing, Providence leaves a work of conviction and chastisement to us mortals. And the process is often fraught with difficulties. There are no shortcuts.
Well, let's be practical. What did the woman have to eat and drink last night after she went to bed?
Nothing.
Nothing? Nothing at all? Not a cup of tea? Or a glass of water? I bet you she had a cup of tea. That sort always does.
Rogers assured me she had nothing whatsoever.
Well, he might say so.
So that's your idea?
Well, why not? You heard that accusation last night. What if it's true? Miss Brent thinks it is, for one. Rogers and his missus did the old lady in. They're feeling quite safe and happy about it.
Happy?
Well, they know there's no immediate danger then. Then, last night, some lunatic goes and spills the beans. What happens? It's the woman who cracks, goes to pieces. You see him hanging around her when she was coming to, not all husbandly solicitude, not on your sweet life. He was like a cat on hot bricks. The woman will give the show away. She's a living danger to her husband. So what does he do? He drops a nice little something into a nice cup of tea, and after she's had it, he washes up the cup and saucer and tells the doctor she ain't had nothing.
But a man wouldn't do that, not to his wife.
You'd be surprised, Miss Playthorne, what some husbands would do.
Excuse me, miss. I'm getting on with breakfast. Not much of a hand as a cook, I'm afraid. It's lunch that's worrying me. Would tuna be satisfactory? And I could manage some fried potatoes. Then there's tinned fruit and cheese and biscuits.
That'll be fine, Rogers.
Lunch? Lunch? We won't be here for lunch. And when the hell is that boat coming?
Mr. Blow!
What?
I beg your pardon, sir, but the boat won't be coming.
What?
Jane Narricott's always here before 8. Is there anything else you require, miss?
No, thank you, Rogers.